So we can firstly create any data, any clusters which we want to use there. So firstly, I want to visualize the simple data chart for the K neighbor. Like for example, matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. And suddenly I want to take simple data set first. For example, like X, I want to fill for the simple data set first, like 4, 5, 6, and 10, 20, 8, 15, and 9. So I took data set, simple data set, like 4 and 4, 8, and the similar Y, 21, 25, 17, 35, 24, 65, and 5, and 10. So we have the two values suddenly. If I want to print plt.scatter like x comma y and plt show, you can see some values are there, but I want to classify them. So I make them first the classes. You can take any name. I choose the classes and the distance from the value. Like there the values are yes or no. So I have the four value 0, comma 1, comma 0, comma 0, comma 1, comma 1 and 0. So now I want to pass here like color. It will colorful the value. Like those data sets are different. So the first value is 65 suddenly there, and again some values are 20. So it is just a simple data visualization with the scattered plot. But now the question is that if we have the data, so how we can make to classify this one? sklearn.neighbor neighbor and import classifier. You can also so data provided. Zip is a function. So suddenly I want to see the data. So zip function pair the value like 24, 4 and 20, 5, 20, 6, 7, 10, 35, 20. So it will make them pair and create them list, because will like first pass two value into the pair, then it will square it, then to find out the root. So that is the reason I have passed all the value into the pair with the help of GIF. Now we can use the algorithm. We can feed to the data like KNN, you can take any name, and the function name and the sub package, you can say that. Classifier. So how many neighbors we want to apply them? Like 1. So now when we feed the data, so firstly the new x value come and the y value come. Like new x value, suddenly like the 11, no value in 11, and suddenly new y value like 11 is we consider here, and the 32. Now I want to again make them cluster. The new point, like new x comma new y. So we have the data. So I have created one cluster, one new point. Now I want to add, but it will automatically decide where the value should be added. So now I want to add prediction, predict new point. So now I want to fit KNN, means the K neighbor classifier technique, and to there. So predict is a function to prediction, find out the predictions. And now to print prediction. Okay, the problem is that we have not fit the data into the K neighbor classifier. So firstly we have to fit the data. Like KNN dot fit is a function to fit the data and classes. So where the data? Data is here. All the GIF data and the classes to coloring. So now it will give some warning, but that is not a problem. So suddenly I want to change the value like 8 and 12. So now the question is that if the value basically is come, new value, the prediction is 0 and 1. Now, now you can see 1 because the data set is found here. If the data set is not found, so the prediction is 0. Similar, I have supplied like 21, and if the data set is found, so it will show the 1. Now, now I want to visualize the data first. PLT dot scatter. Now we have the data X, this data, and I want to use the new data like new X value. And I want to use the Y and new Y value. Then we can supply the data. So if we want to visualize this data still, so it will show chart look like this, but use the colors, the classes. Okay, so classes is not directly used with the prediction. But now you can see the value is added, but where is the new point? We are getting confused. If all the values are there, so where is the new value? So now we can also apply the text like plt dot text x equal to new x, and the dimension basically 1.7 I have defined. You can take any dimension, but I use this. And one new x and new y, and we can give the text name like we can use here the f string. We know very well the f string, and the new we can give the name as new, and obviously to predict the value. So it will display some value. So you can consider the new value here, and suddenly I give the value like 20. So new value is here, and suddenly I give the value 22. The 22 is here. So it will identify all the values related to this one. Overview of Navy Bayes. So the Navy Bayes classifier assume that the features are conditionally independent. And to add one more image for the classification, so the Navy Bayes, like if there are so many mail are there, but some mail are spam. So what is the probability to find out some common data between all the mails are okay and the spam mail? So let's see one by one. We will discuss the probability. So firstly, I want to use the sklearn data set. Sklearn the data set. Sklearn is also support some data set and import. If I'm just using the all and try to print here specific data set, the make classification. So firstly, I want to ensure like this data set is working or not. Yeah, perfect. And after that, I want to find out the x and y. Make classification. And number of features I want to use like 6. And number of classes I want to use, and you can also see like 800. So it is just the and random state. I want to take the data randomly. So you can also find out this data set code. I will also show you later. Yeah. But now I want to print this data. How? Like firstly, I want to import. We know very well what is the import matplotlib. and the pie plot as PLT, and PLT dot scatter. Now we can supply the value x and the y. I supply directly x comma y, and PLT dot show. So it will mat plot lib. Then x and y must be on the same side. That is the problem. So I want to provide the data into the same size. Okay. The colon represent the data you want to take, like 0. 0 means all the value you can indicate 0 or 1. And inside the y you can take the value 1. So I indicate 0 and 1. Okay. And I want to change here the x again. Perfectly. You can see the data from x and y data set. Firstly, I just load and to visualize them. So I just labeling the data. To change the shape of the data. Now the question is that I want to ready the model, train and the test split. So from sk learn dot model, and the model name is selection, import train and the test split. We know very well the train and the test split to split the data set. Now I want to find out the data like the x train, x test, y train, and y test. So we have the function name is train or the package test split. So now I want to supply the value x and y, those are already taken, this x and y. And the test side data I want to take 30%, and the random state you can set 1, 2, and the 120 where you want to set out. Means I want to take the choose the data random. And if you want to check all the value, print like x train, and to print y train, X test, and Y test. So you can see it is a training data set, and it is labeling all the values 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. And it is just the X test and labeling all the values, the training data set. So now all the values are there. The train and the test split model successfully split the data. So now we can import. So Gaussian NB, it is just the Navy Bayes further function. Now I want to ready the model, like model, and Gaussian NB. So in this approach, I use the first model train and the test, and the second model I am just using the Gaussian NB. Now I want to fit the data into this model. Model dot fit. Now training data and Y train data. So I have fit this data. Spelling. So now we have fit the Gaussian MB, fit the data training and test. Now I want to predict the output. So now I use the second model prediction or a prediction, and model dot predict. It is just a function to predict the data. And we want to make the predictions the testing data. And I want to take the 6 value. It will take the time. And prediction. So and the similar the actual test I want to use, like the Y test. Again the 0. So now the question is that actual value and the both and the prediction values are same. But now the question is that this is the technique to find out like those datas are exist into the particular values or not. And you can also check the accuracy with some other technique, the accuracy score, if you are not satisfied this particular things. So the confusion matrix evaluate the accuracy of the classification. So the confusion matrix I want to use here, but I want to use some more packages also. Like the first package, this one, you can also use the star, but actually I'm just using some specific things. And accuracy score, and confusion metric display, matrix display, and one more function is also F1 score. So I have used 4 packages here. Now I want to predict the value Y prediction, and model dot predict. I want to check out the accuracy and the X test. Firstly, I want to visualize the accuracy and the prediction, both of them. Accuracy, accuracy score, like Y prediction and Y test. Then I want to print. So the accuracy is 84%, and if you want to check the other thing, so I think it is enough for the accuracy, but we can also check the one more accuracy. Y predict and Y test. And the average method I want to took. Now I want to print. Like F1 score is. So near about all the accuracy are same, little bit difference. So the confusion metric basically used to identify the accuracy tester basically to find out the accuracy of the classification. So it is all about the Navy Bayes classification to know the probability of the data. So you can take any example. I take the make classification data set. So to we have the three kind of the data. Some data set basically the overlap, and to train the test split. So that is the thing basically. And then after that I will discuss the confusion.